Hey guys, welcome to Jase Outdoors. I am Jason. In this video, I'm going to be unboxing and field testing the GoLive cellular camera from Spartan. The Spartan GoLive cellular camera lives up to its name and can go live by giving you a view in near real time. Photos and videos sent to your phone in great detail with a thumbnail resolution that can be adjusted, a trigger speed of 0.45 seconds for photos and 0.5 seconds for video, a detection range up to 80 feet and a field of view at 51 degrees. Photo burst mode can send all the photos in a burst up to 3 images. This camera is also equipped with a GPS anti-theft feature that sends a GPS coordinates even if the camera has been turned off and the batteries have been removed. All right, so let's just jump right into the box here, as this is the first time I'm ever seeing this camera, and I gotta say this box is it's something. It is really nice. So there's a little tab down here that says learn more. You're gonna just kind of fold that up right there. It feels like, yeah, there's magnets here that close the lid. But there it is. Wow. Setup guide, your antenna, camera strap, and here it is, the GoLive. So not a whole lot with the unboxing. The next thing we're going to do is download, install the app, and create an account with Spartan. All right, so you're going to go to your Play Store and you're going to search for Spartan Camera Management. You're going to install that. Open the app once it's finished. And here's where you'll have to register for an account if you haven't had one of these cameras already. So we're going to hit register. So once you create your account and register your camera, you will have to insert your credit card number and select a data plan. The cheapest plan they have is 500 megs for $15.99, and I'm going to test this out a little bit more later because I really have no idea what that's going to get you, how big the files are, the photos, the videos, and I got to imagine the live look option is going to burn a good amount of data. So I'm going to get into this a little bit more just because I don't know a whole lot about it just yet. So once you register, it's going to ask permissions for access to media and files on your phone. Hit allow. Battery optimization. If you want pictures automatically downloaded in the background, please go to your phone setting, adjust the battery optimization settings. It may reduce battery life. So hit OK there. So I have had a couple of the first cameras that Spartan have ever put out, which are still on my account. They are no longer active at this point. So we're going to add this one. There's a little plus button up here in the top left. And here you will have to enter the IMEI number, which is located right here on your box. It might be easier to just scan the barcode, which you have to give permissions. And we'll scan this real fast. All right, so once you get that scanned, it'll appear under My Cameras tab. So you can then click on your camera settings from there, which I don't have this turned on, but the app is installed and running. So let's throw some batteries in this and a SD card, and we'll go through the menu settings. So before I open this camera up, just a couple things I want to point out. It does have, your 1/4-20 threads for your third-party mounts that screw into the trees. It's got one in the back also. It does have the slots for your Python lock, so you can lock this to a tree. Not a whole lot on the outside. It does not look like there's a lock to lock the door to prevent people from opening it. But it's a little on the beefy side, but that's because it holds 12 batteries. So hopefully the battery life is good. And jumping into it. So they got a note on here, before turning the camera on, they suggest that you install the antenna. You don't want to move this black rubber gasket. Just kind of leave that on and put the antenna on, and then do not, in caps, over tighten antenna. Just snugging it. I'm not going to turn that too hard because you don't want to over tighten it. And we'll put some batteries in. Batteries in, and I'm going to put the SD card in right away. This supports up to a 128 gig SD card. We'll put that in before turning it on. And powering up. Searching for network. Please do not press any keys. And there I'm connected. It's got full bars. SQ31, I'm not sure what that means just yet. So getting this camera registered and connected to the network was just super easy. It's probably the easiest I've had so far. So I'm not wondering if I'm missing something. Let's jump into the menu. So under camera settings, there's the camera mode. You can change it to video, photo and video. Photo size, you got 4 megapixel, 8 megapixel. I'm going to leave it at 8. Photo burst. You can do 1, 2, and 3 photos. And the nice thing about that is finally it will send you all the pictures in a burst. So many that I've done in the past would only send like the second one that it takes. So this will send every photo in the burst. So that is super awesome. We'll go back to menu. That takes you to the top. You hit over. Trigger settings, sensitivity. You got normal, high, off, and low. I'm gonna leave it on normal. Trigger interval. You can go down to 0 seconds, 5 seconds, and probably all the way up to a minute, a couple minutes. So I'm going to leave that on 5 seconds. There's a time-lapse mode, start and stop. So you can set the date and times that you want this to be working. Go back to menu. And then you have multiple times that you can do this, up to 4 settings, workday, and then you're back to sensitivity. So hit menu to go to the top. We'll push over system settings. Go to the clock. This looks like it's already set probably through the network, so I'm not going to touch that. Arm the camera. You can also arm camera outside of the menu by pressing and holding down the left arrow button while in setup mode. Timestamp you probably want to leave on. Format your SD card. I recommend, even if it's a brand new SD card, that you should format it the first time. So we'll hit OK, to hit over and hit yes, and it's now formatting the card. Overwrite, I leave that on so that if the card fills up, it'll just start over from the very beginning and you won't ever have to switch out the card. You can set everything back to default. Beep, I'm going to turn that off because it's already annoying. You can password protect this. I probably won't go that far with it. Name tag, you can name the camera, your firmware update, and here's some information on the camera, the IEMI number. Not a whole lot you need to know. So that looks like it's it. I mean, there's not a whole lot in the menu, which I do believe once you have your app connected to this, you'll be able to change your settings right from your phone. So, this has been super easy so far. So now I think we'll run a few test shots and see how long it takes to send to my phone. I just turned the camera on and it connected to the network with no problems, which I was very happy to see because I don't have great reception here. And I noticed that once you turn the camera on and it connects, you will get a new camera status report alert on your phone. And that means it's connected and ready to go. So we're going to just give it a few tests here. As a matter of fact, because I haven't had a photo sent to me just yet, I'm just going to trigger this and we'll just see how long it takes for this to pop up here. And there it is. So it took like 10-15 seconds. Once you click on the photo, you'll get a quick tip, and it just tells you to double tap the photo and you can zoom into, double tap it again to back out, which is pretty handy. So if you tap over on the left side, tap over the right side, it zooms right in. So I also just learned that you'll get another status report notification on your phone once the live look is available. It takes like a couple minutes, and this little green icon here that says live, once that turns green, then you're good to go live. So I have not done this before, and we'll click the live button, and it's opening up, it's waking the camera up. Wake up! And there's a live look. So, oh, and it's got audio. If I turn my phone up, you can hear it. So there's a couple second delay.
Turn my phone up, you can hear audio. So there's a couple second delay.
Alright, so there's like 5-second delay, but I have a feeling that that has a lot to do with not having great reception here. So if you have a better connection, that might be even a little bit faster. But you know, all in all, it's still near real time, and it's pretty cool. This is like one of the first cellular trail cameras out there that give you a live look. So we're gonna just run a few tests with this camera. I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna set a cone out 20 yards away and just walk back and forth and see how often the camera picks me up, how often it sends the photos. This claims to have an 80-foot detection range. So we're gonna test to see how far this will pick me up. I started out walking back and forth right at the 20-yard mark, and the camera had no trouble detecting me. That center tree is exactly 24 yards, and it was able to detect me there with no trouble. However, with the PIR detection sensitivity set at normal, it missed me on several attempts at 25 yards. I then switched the sensitivity to high, and it detected me each time at exactly 29 yards, which is beyond the 80-foot range. I then walked back to 30 yards and walked straight towards the camera. And each time, the camera didn't detect me until I was at least under the 10-yard mark. I then switched to video mode, and the results were pretty much the same. When you are viewing these sample video clips, make sure that your player is set to high def to get the full effect on how sharp these videos really are.
So this camera does record audio, which of course is always nice to have.
So I'm just throwing it on a tree here real fast just to run a couple more tests. I moved to an area that I have a little less reception than I did in the last spot. So we're going to turn this thing on and see how it does here. So your connection bar is here at the top left corner, and surprisingly I got better reception here than I do with my cell phone, which I'm using Verizon for both of these. And this SQ number, I did reach out to Spartan just to make sure, that does stand for signal quality. And they said that you know, obviously the higher the number the better, but it should be at least at 20 to do the live view. If it's less than that, you might have trouble doing the live view, and it depends on the speed of your tower that you're connected to. So one of my biggest disappointments on other cellular trail cameras that I have reviewed was the recovery time. By that I mean, once it takes a photo, it doesn't matter really what you have your interval set at, it won't take the next photo until the last photo was sent. And a lot of times that's at least 30 seconds. I had it up to 45 seconds and even a little bit further than that, depending on your reception. You know, the lower the reception, the longer it takes. So y'all know, I mean, if you're monitoring your trails and your runs, and you know, doe walks by and trips the camera and it takes 30-40 seconds to send that photo, who knows what you're gonna miss coming behind that, especially in the rut. And that has just always been my biggest disappointment. So I'm going to set this camera at a 5-second interval, and I'm gonna walk just here in front of it non-stop for exactly 2 minutes. Do the math real fast. I mean, if it were to take a photo every 5 seconds, it would be 24 pictures. However, I mean, I don't expect it to take 24 photos, but the other times it was literally like 3 or 4 photos. So I'm just hoping that I can at least get a better number than that. So for this 2-minute test, pay close attention to the timestamp at the bottom of the photo. The quickest time was 6 seconds, with one hiccup in there at 21 seconds. I ended up with 15 photos within that 2 minutes, which averages out to a little over 7 seconds per photo, with that 5-second delay. I'd say that's pretty darn awesome. So I was pleasantly surprised on how many photos were sent to me within that 2-minute period, and the PIR interval can be set all the way down to 0 to ensure you won't miss a thing. So just to go over the data plans real fast, the cheapest plan is $15.99 per month, and that will get you 500 megs of data. So you could pay per month, or you can buy 3 months at a time, 6 months at a time, or you can pay for the whole year. Now you can add a line for $5 a month, and you will share that monthly plan between the 2 cameras. So if you have 2 cameras and you have the 500 megs per month, that's going to split between both cameras. So you're paying for the data that is used and not per photo. Because of the live look, It will consume more of the data than, you know, what a photo would. And it also sends videos, so the file sizes vary. So just to give you an idea of how much 500 megs will get you, sorry, I'm gonna actually need my notes for this one. So if you run with the normal size thumbnails, which is 800 by 480, those file sizes are around 90K each. That's an average, give or take. That's gonna get you a couple thousand photos per month. So you run the thumbnails in the high resolution, which is 1920 by 1080, those file sizes averaged right around 580K per image. So much bigger, greater detail. The thumbnails are just, they're awesome in that resolution. That is going to get you around 900 thumbnails, strictly photos. So if you run videos and do a lot of live look, that's going to cut into those numbers. Running video at 10-second intervals, 1920 by 1080, they are all right around 7 megs. So that's only going to get you like 70 some videos. So if you plan on, you know, using this to send you videos a lot, you're probably going to want something bigger than the 500 megs. The live streaming, that's going to eat the most data, but again, it really depends on how much you use it. They list here on their website as an average of what they found people use, up to 50 seconds a day, and it's consumed over 220 megs, so almost half the plan if you view it once a day for that month. But it just, you know, it's going to come down to how much you use it. So I just want to give you an idea of the quality that's sent to your phone with the normal thumbnail size to the high-res images. If you look here, this photo right here, you can turn your phone sideways to get a full screen. I'm going to zoom in on this deer and more or less look at the tree in the back. This is all the further that I can zoom into this picture at that resolution. This is the normal size resolution. So if I back out here and go to one down here that I know is a high res, we'll flip it and I'm going to zoom into that same tree there in the back, and you can see how much more I can zoom into that picture, and it has great detail, not to mention the deer right here. I mean, it really looks phenomenal. And then same with the video. Video quality here is just phenomenal. It's so sharp. This is just really fun to look at, and you can zoom in again from there. The nighttime photos are pretty good. There's a nice little buck I got here coming in. It's evenly lit. You know, sometimes when something got a little too close, they'd be a little blown out. And again, here is a high quality thumbnail, and you can just see the sharpness on this. It's just unbelievable. Another great feature about this cam is if you come up here to your app and you click on your camera name, which I didn't name yet, and you click show map, it's going to open up a map and show you exactly where the camera is located. And that is just awesome because, you know, you're putting something out that's pretty expensive in the woods, and if that thing gets up and walks away, you're going to know where it is. Even if they take the batteries out and turn the camera off, you'll still be able to find the GPS coordinates on that. Spartan has been one of the top name brand cellular cameras for a while now, and I've had several of their cameras from their first 3G cams. So when they reached out to me, I had no problems partnering with them for this video to give an honest review. So I was excited at the opportunity to look at this camera. If this camera can fit your budget, this camera is going to be hard to beat. It's just, everything about it is really good. I try to find stuff about every review that I do that I don't like or something that can be changed, and I'm really kind of hard pressed to find anything on this. You know, if I had to maybe nitpick on something, maybe it would be just the strap. It's just, you know, they get a nice gray and black camo, and they give you a green strap. It doesn't quite match it, but I mean, that's just because I can't really come up with anything else about it. And if you've seen my other videos, you know I don't even like camera straps. I don't use them, so it really doesn't, it's not an issue to me. But as far as battery life goes, I haven't had it long enough to know, but running 12 batteries off this thing, I gotta imagine it's gonna last a pretty good while. To close out this video, I'm just gonna show you some sample photo and videos that it's taken over the last couple weeks. Night images, the day images, give you an idea of quality, and check out the links in the descriptions. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this.